Hello guys, this is the solution for the final practice or the practice final. As usual, this is the red uh, highlights. These are the important parts of the practice. So let's go started. So this is our file here. Go ahead and open and check each table and see which kind of fields, names, or data in there. Just get yourself familiarized with the tables. Here, the first one, we want to assign the primary key for each table and also create the relationships. So for example, this table, the table agent, if you go to the design view, you see that we don't have a primary key there. And you should know that which one is the better way, or the better field to be the primary ID, probably the agent ID, right? Similar to your student ID or anything. Usually if it's ID, most cases, it's the primary key. So we're going to put this as a primary key. We select the agent, click primary key there. So this is our primary key. We can close that and say yes. Table development is the same thing. So we open in the design view. Most likely it's going to be the development ID here. So it's the same thing, primary ID. Close and save. Finally, the listing. We have listing ID, but also we have listing agent and selling agents. We're going to talk about this later. Those are actually the foreign keys from, or this one actually, the foreign key from table agents. We're going to see that later. This is the listing ID here, listing. This is, you see the listing table, listing ID. These kind of like indications that this should be at least the proper one. So I'm going to select that one, click primary key, and close. So we set up all the primary keys there. Now we're going to create the relationships. We're going to go to database tools, relationships. So we have agents and we have developments and listings, actually at the table that links the agents with the developments. So here are the information for the developments, here are the information for the agents, but these attributes for the listing, okay? So mostly you want to look for, we say like we want to create a relationship between agents and listing. So usually you're looking for the primary key from one table and the same ID here as a foreign key. So agent ID is here. It's going to be either listing agent or selling agent. How are we going to know that? We're going to open the table listing. I'm going to see here, we have the selling, we have the selling agent's ID here, and we have here the listing, sorry, and this is the selling. You can see that there are some missing values here. There's something missing. This is like the development wasn't solved yet, okay? So if we're gonna pick which one's gonna be our primary key or the foreign key here, I bet it's gonna be the listing agent, because all the developments here have been listed or has been listed by someone, okay? But not all of them were sold. So this is gonna be the proper one to be our foreign key in this table, the listing table. So I wanna save that. So I wanna link the agent ID. I'm gonna click the mouse and drag. I'm gonna put in the listing agent, not the selling agent, the listing agent, okay? I wanna enforce the differential integrity. Create. The other one is between the development and listing. So the development ID here, I have the exact same name there. So development ID and development ID. Doesn't matter, I can connect the way the other way. So drag from here or there, enforce the differential integrity and click create. So we have one to many relationships in here. Gonna close it and save it. Now we wanna open we want to actually import this. Okay, we want to import text from a text file. So if you go to your download files, you're going to see that we have 17 agents here. I want to add other 2 from there. I think we were added before. I think I added them. So in order to add them, you have to go to external data and click text file. you go to where you saved your files. So I think I saved them somewhere here, practice. And this is the file, so you import that file. You're going to append it. You don't want to create a new one. You want to append into the table agent. And you click OK. It's delimited, yes. And it's a semicolon, so it's already picked it for you. If you have a doubt, you go and open that text file and see how the data are separated. So these are two new agents that I want to import. And click next and finish. In this example will tell me that there's nothing happened because I already imported them before. Otherwise, you will not be able to see this error message. Okay. Oops. Let me cancel that. Okay. So to make sure that you have Steve and Amanda imported into your table. Now we want to open the table agent. You want to add your last name and first name to the table. So you can just open it here and add your name here and there. That's simple. Here, we want to create a query that shows these fields. We can do it with the query wizard. So we can start the wizard here, the simple one. You click OK. First thing we want to see the development name. So we're going to go to the development table and see the development name, property address. So we're going to see it's in the listing, I guess. The address here, yeah. City, state, postal code. So we have this city, state, postal code. And listing agent's ID. So listing agent's ID, listing agent. This is the ID of the listing agent. First name and last name of the agent. So I'm going to go to the table agent. I want to see their last name and first name. We also want to see the listing price and the sold price. So I'm going to go back to the listing. We have the listing price and the sold price. That's all. Yeah, we're gonna click next, give it a name here, a proper name that's asked you, and click finish. So we have a query now developed here. I'm gonna go to the design view. I'm gonna make some modifications now. It tells me here only the sold properties. So I don't want to see. If you go run here, you would see all the properties here. You know, those ones were not sold yet, but you can still see them. So you want to filter to see only those ones who has values here. How are you going to do that? You can go to the design view simply. You can say, I want anything that has actually value here. So this has to be greater than 0, okay? So there's something of value. But this is not actually accurate because 0 is actually a number, although it's going to be working here. So if you click run, you would see that you only see items or listing that are already been sold. But this is not the proper way to do it, although it's give you the same or the required answer. The proper way is say this is not null, so is not null. Null is something that tells you that there's no value in here, okay? So this is the proper way. Oops, not null, okay. It's sorry, what is that? Okay, is not null. Okay, so this is the proper way to do this. So it's is here, not in. That was a mistake there. All right. You're going to save the query. I think it's asked you to do more. When I calculate the percentage, sold price over the listing price. So here, when I create a new field that's not existed in the table, so it's a new field here, I'm going to go to builder. So I want to put the sold price divided by the listing price. I'll click OK. Now I have a new field here. It's going to give it a name of percent list. So this is where you're going to put the name percent list here before the colon percent list. And you can see that if you run it, you will go and you see that the percentage is like 0.99, okay? I don't want to show it this way. I want to show it as a percentage, okay? So as you see, this one is shown as a currency. I want to show this as a percentage, so 99 and then the sign percent. To do that, you go back to the design view, and here you're going to click on, let me expand this a little bit. Property sheet is there, okay? The property sheet, so we're already selecting this field here. We're going to say the format is going to be percent. All right, so you can decide also on the decimals here. So maybe you want the 0 decimals there, maybe 2 decimals. Okay, and you're going to click run. Now you're going to see it's a percentage there. Okay, yes, I'm going to save that. We finished that one. Okay, oops, now we still have to do this. We'll go and open it again. So in the datasheet view, it tells you that add the total row, and he wants the average, the percent of the listing price, and the total for the listing and sold price. So what I want to see here is I want to create or add a total row down there, and to do that you have to go to the totals here, this sign. If you expand the view, you'll see the 4 word totals there. Okay, so if you click on that one, you're going to see a new row added there, and you can add, for example, for the percentage, you want to see the average, okay, the average percent, and here you just want to see the sum of the values. Okay, then you can go and close and save, or save and close. The next one, I'm going to create a new query that has all, it's the query based on the previous query. So, okay, so we can create a query based on a query. For example, if you go and click create and wizard, simple, you don't have always to pick the tables. You can actually pick the query. So you can pick items or field names from the query, from a previous query, okay? And this is an example here. We're going to create this, and we're going to add the development name, list price, and sold price. So development name is going to be list price, sold price, and I think it's going to ask for the percent fields too. Okay, so I'm going to add the percent field too. We already calculated it there. You're going to aggregate. So the aggregation comes in the design part. So you're going to click next, give it a name there, and you click finish. So this is our report here. We're going to go to the design view. Now we're going to create, I don't need this here. We're going to create an aggregation. So over here. So we're going to aggregate by the development names, but we want the sum of the price field and average of the percent field, okay? So in order to do that, we add the total rows from the design view. So we are in the design view, where I add the total rows there. We're going to group by the name, but for the list price, we want the sum. I think this one also we want the sum, but this one we want the, is it the average? The average, the percentage, yeah. So we want the average it here, okay? And you're gonna click run, and you see that's developments by name. This has the value, so this is the sum of the listing price, this is the sum of the sold price, and this is the average percent. You can see the average percent here back to the these numbers. You're gonna configure that to be, again, you have to go to the property sheet, and you need this to be a percent. Okay, close that, click run, and be able to see it as a percent there. That's it for this query. Close and save. I'm going to create a new query here. It's also based on that query. When we want the agent last name, list price, sold price, and percent list that we created in this query. So here we want the agent last name into that one. So again, you're going to go create wizard, simple, and it's going to be this query, the first one that we created. But actually, we want the agent last name. Let's put the last name first. Then we're going to go to this query. We want the list price. We want the list price, sold price. Okay, we want all the prices. So the list price, the sold price, and the percent list. Okay. Next, give it a name here, and click finish. Now we're going to calculate the list agent's commission. Okay, so we need to make a new field there, which is the sold price by 30%. This is the commission for the agent. We're going to name it commission. So again, you go to the design view, and here you want to go to build, and it's going to be the sold price times 0.3. Okay, and we're going to call this commission. Okay, and you click run. You see these are the commissions for the agents. We're going to group by agent name. We want to sum the list price and the sold price and the commission field. We want to average the percent field. Okay, so switch back. We add the totals. So group by the last name. Here we want the sum, and here we want the sum again. The percent list, we want the average, and here we want the sum again. Okay, and what else? You want to sort by, I think, sort the data in ascending order by the last name. Okay, so in ascending order here, so you're going to sort by the last name, and you can click and save. Where we are, okay. Ask you to format it, so you already know how to do that. You go to the property sheet and change the format. Here we want to create a new query, then we add those fields there. So first and last name, so let's go and create a wizard. Let's go to the table agents. We want the first name, the last name. I'm kind of like lost agent and last name. You have the listing date, sold date, and square feet. So listing date, date. What is the listing date? Listing date, sold date, square feet, sold price. Okay, sold price. Let's go all the way down. So this is our sold price here. And click next, give it a name, and finish. We want to limit the query for sales made in 2014. So you see the sold date here. We have things in 14 and things in 15. This is kind of similar to the assignment. If you go switch it to the design view, now we want to limit the sold date here to be between two certain dates. So we can use the between criteria. If you don't know this, you can actually Google it. So you can search which type of criteria that gives you this result. So it's going to be between. I'm going to use the hash, and it's going to be 1/1/2014. I'm going to close that hash, and so it's between this date and 12/31/2014. I'm going to close that. So now we only see anything that happens in this year. This is only 2014 data. Why are we seeing 13 there? No. The listing date. Did we put in the listing date? The sold date. Okay. So I'm confused here. Sold date. Sold date. I'll put it in the sold date. It's asking for a sold date. Yeah, the sold date. So sold date here is only 14. Okay. Switch back. Where we were, and it has to be more than 2,000 square feet. Okay, so square feet here, I want it to be greater than 2,000. So both in the same row, the criteria is going to work as and. So this and this. If you put the 2,000 here, it's going to work as and or. Okay, so either this or this, but here it has to be both. So if you go and click run, you could see that your records kind of like that shorter. Okay, click that and cancel or save, sorry. Then create a new query for agents who have the same phone number. So this is a very simple one. So you go create query wizard and you want to duplicate query, okay? And you want to go to the agents and you want to see if they have the same phone number. And let's say you want to see all the information of those agents. Click next, give it a name, and finish. So those two agents actually share the same phone number. Okay? I'm going to save that. Create a query that says the first name, last name. Do not have property listed. Okay? So those agents do not have property listed under their names. So we're going to see who are the agents who never listed any of the properties. Okay, this is another template query. So this is called unmatched query. So I'll tell you that I want to look for agents who don't have any listings. So their related records is listing. You're going to match the agent ID here and listing agent ID here. If there's an agent ID here who doesn't have a listing agent ID there, this is what this report is going to report, okay, for this query. So let's say I want to see all the fields or whatever mentioned there. You click next, give it a name, and finish. You see those two agents, because I just added them, the 16th and 17th, Steve and Amanda, I just added them from the text file. They don't have actually listings, so these are my two noobs. Okay. Here I want to create a form that actually shows agents and listing together. So instead of creating a form for the agents and a form for the listing, I can create the two together. So to do that, you could create and you go to form wizard. I want to click the agents first. I want to put, let's say, everything, whatever mentioned there. Then I go to listing and I want to, let's say, list everything there. Click next. So by default, Access will understand this is a subform, so it'll pick it for me. Next, it's the data sheet. Give it a name, proper name for the first form and the subform, and you click finish. You'll be able to see this form. So if you switch to the layout view, you can actually type a title here. I think it's asked you to type agent and listing. So you want to type, let's say, agent and listing. And if you don't like this way, you can actually expand it. This is the header. It's asked you to delete that one. So if you click on this one and delete, it's asked you also to bring this underneath. Let me just make it parallel. So you know that's in the design view or in the layout view, you can actually control these controls, okay? So you can actually expand the sizes and do a lot of stuff here. Close and save. We are done with this one. Or you want to add your name, the subform. We did that before, if you can remember. If you go back to your form and you click on design view this time, you can see that you have down here is the footer. So you can click on a label from the design tab. You click on label and you create a field here. I'm going to say created by me, your name. So if you switch back to the form view, you'll be able to see your kind of like signature in the form, okay? Cancel, and yes, we're gonna save that. Finally, here we're gonna create a report, okay? We're gonna report the last name, sold date, and sold price. So again, I'm gonna use the wizard here. So I want the last name from the table agent. From the listing, I want the sold date, and I want the listing, sold date, sold price. Okay, so just the sold price, right? So I want here sold date and sold price. Didn't ask me to do anything here. I think did it ask me to? I think it didn't. You just want to do the ascending by sold date, so it didn't ask me to do any grouping here. I want to sort by sold date. Click next. I want this portrait. This is step. Next, give it a name there and click finish. So I'm able to see a full report now. This is kind of like a printable report, so I'm going to close this one. I'm going to be able to see the report view. So this is my report view here. It's asked me to add a subtotal value and a caption, and caption to sold price. So subtotal value is called subtotal value. So I'm going to copy this. Here, subtotal value is, for example, this name sold all these properties. I want to see subtotal here for all the sold prices and for this one and the next one. So if I go to layout view, so now I'm selecting the sold price control fields. I'm going to go to totals. I'm going to click sum. So this is the subtotal for every person. You see this? This is the subtotal for every person. I want to create a label for this field here. I'm going to go and click label. I'm going to put that here maybe somewhere. Oops. Well, you actually can, I don't know if you can create it here, but we want to go to design view actually. So this is our subtotal here. Let's switch to design label. I'm going to give it a name here. Come on. I'm going to name that maybe subtotal. Okay. So now if you switch back to the report view and you see subtotal there for the total for sold items. Lastly, here I want to make a conditional formatting. This is 10 million here. It should be a million maybe. 10 million will not work. So if this, let's say a million or over, I want it to turn red and bold. So if you go back to the layout view and you click on this field here, you're going to select all the related fields for you. And then you want to go to format, conditional formatting. I'm going to create a new rule. I'm going to say if the field value is greater than, I would say, 1 million, then I want it to be bold and red. Okay. If you click OK and apply it, you'll see that if it's above 1 million, it will just turn red, while the others just stay black as it is. Yep, and that's it. So you close and save, or save or close. And this is the solution for the practice, or the final practice. Good luck in your final, and see you later.